Rampersad Sieuraj. I'm the immediate past president of the Penal Debe Chamber of Commerce. I'm a chartered accountant by profession.
Tell me what happened to you.
Well, what actually happened is that I was asleep. Well, let me first of all thank you all for being here and excuse the place because I wasn't prepared for this. Yes, I was asleep at around 2:30, 3 o'clock when I just heard my door was kicked in. At that point in time, I awoke and managed to get hold of my licensed revolver. But at the same time, too, the three guys would have already been on my back, so I was powerless. At which point in time they chopped me on the head and then continued to fight with me for the firearm. Realizing that they were not getting the firearm, one of them decided to wring my arm, so they wrung this thing out.
And so what happened next? What did they ransack your room?
They ransacked the room, took everything they could have gotten in terms of jewelry and money and whatever else. Whatever they wanted to, because when I lost use of my arm, I just allowed them to do what they had to do.
Everybody else was in the house?
No, it was just myself.
And where were you when you were ransacking?
They had me on the floor. They always had me on the bed. I was on my stomach, and on the floor when they tied my hands and feet, I was also on my stomach. So I
What
wasn't.
sort of weapons they had?
Well, definitely had a cutlass. At one point, they did point a gun to my forehead and said to me they're going to kill me. I don't know what else.
That must have been quite an ordeal.
Well, it was an ordeal in the sense that I personally had been expecting this because in this community they have had recent spate of these recent things. And there's a guy that lives just probably about a quarter mile from here, and I told him once, I said, well, after you, they'll come for me. Because it's something that's been ongoing in the community and we seems to have no sort of relent as far as where the authorities are concerned.
And you try to prepare for an attack like this?
Well, if you notice my surroundings, my home, the security and I have everything, cameras, everything. The only thing I don't have is probably some, the ones that make the noise, I don't know what you call them.
And you had dogs as well?
They killed the two dogs.
What did they do?
Poisoned the two dogs.
What sort of dogs?
Two homebred dogs, not any hybrid dogs, but two dogs that normally would have protect my place.
So how long you were under attack for?
Roughly about 35 minutes, at what point in time one of the guys said we had long enough time to go, and they left.
And what happened after? They had tied you or anything?
Yeah, they had tied me with some of the cords for my electrical fittings. Apart from that, they tied me with a belt as well, one of my own belt. I managed to loose myself out and I allowed them enough time to leave because this happened upstairs the house. And I was fearful that if they realized I had loosed myself, I was fearful that they might have killed me then. So. Well, injury to my head, I bled a lot.